Continue learning Rabbeinu Yona's incredible Pirush on Meseches Avos as we begin the fifth Mishnah in the second Perek. He used to say, continuing the words of Hillel, Ein bor yirechet, there is no bor, there is no ignoramus who fears the sin, v'lo amaretz, and there's no amaretz, chassid, who is pious. Says Rabbeinu Yona, what does that mean? Ha-bor hu reik, a bor, one who does not have Torah is reik, is empty. Ein boy, what does he not have? Loi Torah, loi mitzvahs, loi derech eretz. Ubetargum, and Onkelos teaches us, va'adama lo seisham, the land, the ground will not be desolate, loi savor. What does that mean? Loi savor, which means, loi hutrech, loi mar, loi bor chassid. It will not become, it did not need to say that there's no bor who is a chassid. Shav yirechet einenu. Of course he's not a chassid. He's not even a yirechet. Kimitoich hareikos. Because due to his emptiness, Shabai, Gamin Aviros, he doesn't even know how to stay clear from doing Aviros. Aval Amaretz, but one who's an Amaretz, Shume'urav Imabriyos, he hangs out with people, B'midois Chashuvos. He hangs out with people with good midas. And he has some good things about him. Mixas, a little bit. He has good deyos, good mindsets, good ideas. Yoidea, he knows Lishamer to guard himself, Yishmer Nafshay, to guard his soul, Min Abshayim from the sins, Vyuchal Liyoy Sadik. He could be a Sadik, Velasas Likayim, B'masha Imer Loid Shenitzav, and do what he's told to do. El Maila Chasidos, but the Chasidos to piety, Lo Yuchalasik, he cannot reach Kim Gadol B'Tayra unless he is a Gadol B'Tayra, Shemida Shetzricha Tahiris Alev, because piety, Chasidos, is something that requires purity of heart, Vizakus HaNefesh, and the soul to be pure as well, and meritorious, Ve'in Zebi Yadai, Chachman, he doesn't have the wisdom to push from this middle line to the furthest extent, to go every detail within one more dot of Torah and mitzvahs. That's why it's called Am Haaretz. So Rabbeinu Yona is teaching us that here when it says Am Haaretz, it doesn't really mean Am Haaretz. It means Am Haaretz, a regular Joe, like a regular guy, like every one of us. Perhaps learns, perhaps does mitzvahs, but he's mu'urav, he's together with the people. That person's not going to reach the level of chasidus, which requires extreme Torah, etc. Continues the Mishnah of V'lo Baisha and Eloi made, one who is embarrassed will never learn. V'lo Kapton Melamed. And similarly, one who is, not similarly, but let's see, and one who is very strict, he's makbid always, he cannot teach. So it says, Rabbeinu Yona, what does it mean, V'lo Baisha and Eloi made? What does it mean that if you're shy, you cannot learn? Midas haboisha esi taiva. To be shy, to be embarrassed, to be timid is a good midah. Chol inyan for everything. Levad bilimod, aside for learning. Kin shenemar, as David HaMelech has taught us, v'adabra beiteisecha, I will speak about your edus, about your laws, neged, melachim, in the presence of kings. V'leivash, I won't be embarrassed. She David HaMelech alav shalom bivarcham neishal b'amdil melchei omais. He's running from Shaul and he's standing from the non-Jewish kings. He never was embarrassed to talk in Torah, even though they're going to ridicule, they're going to mock him. If this is the right thing, says David HaMelech, I'm not going to shy away. When it comes to learning, it's not good to be shy. Similarly, a student, so that's number one. Number one is you can't be embarrassed and you know what's right, you know you have to do. You got to listen to the shir, you got to daven, you got to do a mitzvah. Don't care about anyone else around you has to say. We learned this all the way back in the very, very beginning of Shulchan Aruch, how we don't have to be worried about the malikim if we're doing the right thing. But similarly, continues Rabbeinu Yona, Gam in the Talmud Loimar, a student should never say, Tipish Kamaini, someone foolish like myself, how can I ask something in front of someone who is wise? The classical idea that probably plagues every Talmud at different times of his day, at different times of his life. Who am I? I could ask the Rebbe a question. I could go and ask the Rav something. I don't have any knowledge. I don't have any I don't have anything to talk about. And if this is what is Mishpat is all his days, where's the wisdom going to go? This is what they said. Ask a foolish question wisely. And guard it as a generous person would. What does this mean to say? Generous people will not waste their money. They also don't hoard it. And they give it to the right places. So too with wisdom. Speak about it with whom the people who are fitting to speak about at the times that's appropriate to talk about. Not with everyone. Not a time they won't hear. How many times does a good Rebbe, does a good Rav, does a good Rosh Hashiva, does a good Mora, does a good principal, does a good teacher say, don't be embarrassed to ask? Every single question should be asked in Yiddishkeit. You should never be embarrassed so that you can learn. And this is a lesson that in all of our life, not necessarily only when one is a Talmud in a yeshiva in a school, but his entire life, never stop asking questions. Yiddishkeit, Judaism, is pro every single question in the world, and hopefully a good Rebbe, a good Rav, a good teacher, if he doesn't know the answer, I'll send you in the right direction. And finally, we conclude for today, one who is strict to not teach, teacher cannot be impatient, he cannot get angry, he can't have a short temper. He has to be very open, very wide, be able to answer everyone, anything that they ask. Even when your answer is going to be difficult to hear, you have to keep on saying it until they can understand and plumb the depths of the matter. We'll stop over here and we'll finish this mission on the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.